Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video for new players, just a step by step, sort of a quicker step by step, I'd say, with a few tips and tricks to use from level 1 to 100 while you're facing AI, and to get the most out of that time that you've just got basically free kills. And that will make unlocking things and doing challenges so much easier. If you're already at level 100, this video is not for you unless you want to watch for it. So yeah, just thought I'd add that at the start before we go through everything. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you're new, I hope you enjoyed the game, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks. So here we have character creation. It's like every character creation. Go with what you like. Lots of tattoos, scars, some wacky hairstyles. Just generally make your character look how you want it to. Yeah. I'm just going to go with... I'll just go with... I'll go with this one. And let's go. And now just make your name. I'm just going to go with Plum Help. And now we head to the training yard where we're going to pick a weapon. With weapons, people will say it's your personal preference, but when you start the game, it's worth... There's a few that I would suggest going for early stages. I would ignore dual blades. I would ignore bow, ignore short bow, ignore musket, and everything else going wild. Nadachi, I would probably suggest over any other one at the start of when you're starting out from, level 1 to 100. So we'll go Nadachi. So fight Sir Roderick, get him killed, and we'll move on to the mounted training. Here to view test dummies, and we'll be done with the horse riding. Okay, so now you get your halberdiers in your first training. Easy enough, just move them along with you by clicking X. You got these guys charging, so let them just brace right into my guys. Easy. When these guys are static in their second formation, that's F2, they brace and do a lot of damage. So that's one way to use them. Second way to use them is more in the sort of like charge mentality. So you just click 1, scroll it up, and off they go. Easy. And you click V to really punch them up. And now we're just capturing the point, and we finish this tutorial. Now into our first training siege. It's all AI you'll be playing against, of course, so you don't need to be too careful. Just keep your troops. You see the blue things on the ground? That's just me tapping X, and that's how I like to move mine along. Some people like to press C and have them follow them, but if I tap X like that, it keeps them in a really nice formation. That is what I'm after. And the Dachi just means I never need to worry about anything apart from just doing damage. I just slash away. And I think a lot of people play around with a lot of these weapons, musket, bow, and they think bow is going to be great. But what you'll find is it is great, but not straight away. You want to be just sticking with something early stages, purely because you are going to be playing against AI for 100 levels. basically. So I would highly suggest Nadachi as number 1. Capturing a little supply point. If you put your troops, once they're injured, on a supply point, your troops will get healed. Like, they'll turn green like that, and you'll notice the troops that are low health are getting healed. So just a little quick tip if you didn't see. If I was playing another class right now, like a musket, a bow, a dual blades, any of this, I would have to use my bandage, so it's H. But nope, Nadachi, you just keep going. And it's much more familiar playstyle for anyone coming to the game from other games, just being able to sort of, just slash away and just want to focus on being in the combat. So it gets you much more used to that. So now we come across an important part. And a lot of guides will just say go with what you want, but not my guide. My guide is what is meta. Kind of not meta, but like is the best. Now there's 2 here that are a must have, like a must go for. You will end up with all the troops eventually if you play the game for long enough. But when selecting these 3, I would say 100% Iron Cap Swords and 100% Pike Militia. Those 2, Pike Militia can be really good even at endgame, and so can Iron Cap Swordsmen. Their charge, once they're fully leveled up and have a few good doctrines, and in the unit tree, you put some honor into their extra branches. Really good. Now, the next decision, up to you. Out of your last decision, choose what you fancy. But I'm just going to go with the Misages. Probably won't use them. Now here, in terms of what you're going to be doing, that is going to be in AI sieges. For me, there's only one choice here. You're going to be wanting to get as many kills as possible, and yeah, there's only one choice. That would be the Halberdier. The reasons for that is they just all round do some decent damage. They're relatively survivable, where Perfect Pikes are good, but they're a one-time charge, and then their damage sort of falls off. They do really high damage initially with their charge, and then past that, it falls off. And your Iron Cap Spearmen are just a defensive tank unit, so they don't really do much damage. So, Halberdiers. And we've arrived in Conqueror City. So, my advice here, it's pretty self-explanatory. Do every quest that comes up. And any exclamation marks, click them, and basically do things until you get rid of them. And now we're entering our first siege. This is going to be AI, and it will probably, most likely be AI from 1 to 100. So, you don't really have to worry about losing. You're going to use 1 to 100 to get good at using, or decent at using units, and learn how to play. 100 doesn't actually take that long, and by the time you get to around level 80, you'll be really, really wanting to get into the actual competitive scene. But enjoy and use the AI battles to your advantage. So when you enter a match, especially in the AI one, just go straightforward, pick your best troop straight away.
Attack! Attack! Get into position!
more quests, except it will literally drip feed you or force you into doing something. Here, I would advise going for probably... I mean, to be fair, it's up to you. I wouldn't bother with tenant farmers, though. I'd go village watchmen or serfs or woodcutters. One of those three. I'm going to go village watchmen. And then you come here, build them. Yes. Done. Another unit. Veterancy line. Because we leveled our halberdiers, we can choose a point. I'd advise going bottom line with halberdiers. Better brace damage, but it's kind of up to you on that one. And then, if we click tab, and then click on the quest, we can just auto run to it. Now this is important. This is your what we call your F4s. Brings up your Path of Valor, Path of Faith, Path of Wisdom, and basically what these are catch-up mechanics, and gives you a butt ton of rewards and experience. So you just want to get these unlocked. I've apparently done quite a lot of them. That's going to level me and give me 100 unit medals. So my advice with these is just every now and then have a look at what it needs you to do and just do them. While you're doing AI, it's the easiest way to get all these done. So it wants me to use unit medals. I'm just going to chuck the entire load in. That's going to be another F4 completed, and that's the way it normally goes. You'll do something and then just naturally, and then it will complete one. And now we've unlocked attribute points as well. Attribute points are kind of to customize where you want your damage to be, but it's pretty generic. So for Nadachi, it's slashing. I'm just going to pop it in strength. Strength is slashing, so pop my 8 points in slashing. Again, completing quests, and because we use those unit medals, we can now boost our halberdiers up even further. This gives them 8 points to pop in, so we're just going to pop them all in. And then we've got to hit F4 again, because we've done that. And now all we have to do is defeat 10 more enemy soldiers in a batch. That would be the next match we do. So my advice for this would be just work your way through these. They'll keep going. Path of Faith, Path of Justice, Path of Wisdom. And you just work your way through. By the end, by the time you finish Path of Wisdom, you should know the game quite well. At some point in the game, you're going to be gifted a Heroic Era unit, or a Purple Tier unit, as I call them. And it will give you a choice, and I see a lot of new players will go for Vassal Longbowmen. As cool as this sounds, having a longbow that fires super far and it doesn't really do much damage, and it's not really worthwhile on the battlefield. So if we're going to go for stuff you can use later on in the game, end game units that are actually really useful, I think your first unlock should be Palace Guards, because one, in the AI training, they're going to get you so many kills. They're really tanky, do really good damage, and their brace is amazing. So that would be my number one to go for. When you get given a second one, Imperial Pike Guard. These guys are really good end game. They're great at stopping cavalry, and their walk knocks over units. So it's a really good pushing troop. So those are my two must-have if you when you get given the Purple Tier unit. So yes, Imperial Pike Guard and Palace Guard. At level 10, you'll be able to unlock at level 10, you'll get access to the seasonal units. And this is basically the season units that they've released. But what a lot of new players don't know is they can go back seasons. So what you do is you click this button up here, and then you can scroll back to look for units you might be interested in unlocking. Now, the best thing about this is because you are going to be an AI from level 1 to 100, and a lot of the challenges are, let's say, kill 300 troops or get lots of medals or stuff like that. That normally in a battle, if you were with players, it would be very difficult to get 200 kills in a battle. You'd have to be playing pretty well to do that. But being AI, it's very easy to get 200 kills, so you can get these challenges knocked out really quickly. So yeah, I would advise picking a season and unlocking. Now, my top tips for seasons to unlock straight away would be now my top pick for seasons to go after, like units to go after, when you're from 1 to 100, would be Fortebraccios. That would be number 1 in here. At the same time, this is kind of up to you, but it'd be worthwhile potentially at level 20 picking up the maul and start doing the maul challenges, because it's a slightly different weapon and it unlocks in a different way to other weapons. So you got to go through challenges. So while you're doing AI, it might be worth picking up the maul just to get some of it unlocked at least. You probably won't be able to do all of it, but it would definitely be a good start. The Grey Hair Garrison would be second. Really nice tanky unit, does a lot of damage and will set you up very well for past level 100. My third would probably be Berserkers. Really nice. At the moment, I just had a buff and do so much damage and self-healing, so you never need to send them back to the point if you play with them carefully. So yeah, those would be my 3 ones to start with. You probably won't manage to unlock them all like that. You'll probably level 100 by the time. By the time you maybe have 1 of them or 2 of them, but those are the 3 I'd suggest from myself. So yeah, there's my relatively quick guide for new players. I know there's bigger and more in-depth guides out there, but the game has so much to it. They normally take 50 minutes to an hour to even get through the first part. So I just thought I'd make a really quick guide for anyone that comes to my stream that just needs the little basic things, unit-wise and seasonal unit-wise. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and if you're new, catch me on Twitch. I'm there most days at about 8 o'clock UK time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon.